Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm back with Devansh today. So Devansh is an entrepreneur, and thank you very much, Devansh, for being here. It's my pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lakshit, for inviting me over here on your channel. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, Devansh, before beginning and getting into any kind of conversations, it would be wonderful if you could introduce yourself, what you do, and yeah, more about your company and all.
So, Lakshit, as we had spoken also earlier. So basically, I'm a chartered accountant by qualification, and I completed my CA in 2015. After which I was, working and getting some experience in a corporate environment. For 2.5 years, I was just working, and I was into basically equity research because stock markets was my passion. I wanted to understand how stock markets work, how to manage clients' money, how to manage clients' wealth, how to grow it, how to increase, how to do research on the stocks, on mutual funds, etc. So worked out there, got a very good amount of experience because I was reporting straight to the director, and he was very experienced person. So got to learn quite a lot under him, from him, basically. And in January 2018, I started my own firm. Basically, I thought that there is something that I need to give to myself and follow my passion, do something for myself, start my own firm. And that's where this idea of Lakhani Financial Services came in, wherein I started with very similar services what I was working out there. But here, the role was different. Now I was reporting to myself and reporting to my clients. It was
Yeah.
a one man show that we all start off with like just one man show, and then we try to build a team under us, etc., as we grow.
Mm.
So we started off with portfolio management services, wealth management, research on stock markets, different stocks, advising clients, and all these things. So we started off with completely all those kind of aspects, and slowly uh, we got into investment banking also, right? So investment banking is, what it means is that we have to raise funds for companies. So we raised funds for one SME company by way of an IPO. We did a right issue for an SME company, which was both to the tune of 8 to 10 crores respectively. So that was also very good breakthrough for us, because that's where a good amount of knowledge I got, because I was working with a few associates who were very experienced, and got to learn quite a lot how the whole investment banking domain works, the paperwork and a lot of things into legal valuation, everything, like meeting top HNI investors, understanding their concerns, how do they receive things from the promoters, and meeting multiple promoters of companies. So it was very good fun. It was a good learning curve, that thing. And what happened is that at least around maybe 1.5 year back or something, the SME market where we were trying to raise funds for our clients, that was actually becoming very dull and illiquid.
Mm.
Okay, so IPOs were not coming, the markets were very dull. Stocks were being rigged and everything. So it was very bad market, because before that, already 3 years there was a huge boom in the IPO, and I
Mm.
was a late participant in that, because I was fairly new. So I was a late
Yeah.
participant. But the
Mm.
companies which had done a lot of fundraising earlier, 3 years before, like they had made a lot of money. The investment bankers and the companies, everyone, they made a lot of money, and they, like literally they rode the wave basically. But I was a late entrant, so I could not ride the wave completely, but I got some experience. And that's where what happened is that very what do you call it, luckily I would say, I started getting a lot of approaches from my friends, relatives, about raising funds for startups.
Mhm.
Okay. It was not inclined to do, and then I met a couple of mentors and investors and understood the startup ecosystem. So there was a lot of scope for advising startups, because they were not knowing that, okay, how to raise funds, how to connect to investors, how to strategize for your business scaling up, etc. That's where then I started realizing, okay, there is a huge gap out here where I need to fill myself out here, and come into the investment banking and advisory domain with specializing only for startups. That's where we came into the startup field at least 16, 17, 18 months back. And I took 2-3 months to first understand the ecosystem, develop a very good business plan, some relationships with some with some investors, spoke with quite a few founders, understood their problems, and that's where our then the startup advisory and startup investment banking space took a kickstart, and we started working very actively in that domain. And then the other part of the business, like the mutual fund advisory, wealth management, that we scaled that thing down, and the focus out there started reducing around 12 months back, 11, 10, 12 months back approximately, and we started focusing more on the startup space basically.
Okay.
So we took it, we started focusing out there. We worked with multiple startups. In fact, over the last 15-16 months, we've raised funds for 3 startups till date, to the tune of around rupees 1 crore. And right now we are on our negotiation stage for our fourth startup with few investors. So that is what we are doing. And apart from that, the advisory part where we work very actively and mentor the startups is, we would have done work with at least 55, 60 kind of startups over the last 16, 18 months, and advise them, strategize with them, brainstorm with them, help them to prepare their business plans, their pitch decks, mentoring them, brainstorming with them as to what kind of ideas they need to come up with, how we need to grow our business, etc., etc. So we did all those things at least with over 55, 60, and the target for this year is that we at least work with another 30 startups, 30 to 40 startups for this particular year, and want to reach that 100 kind of a figure by the end of this year, like a total of 100 startups.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we are expanding our team now. We are a team of 6 people currently, and working intensively with the startups. We also, in the meanwhile, in the last 2-3 weeks, we launched our second brand, which is lakhaniacademy.com. Your viewers, if they are young students, young entrepreneurs, they can visit that. They can visit lakhanifinserv.com. So Lakhani Academy is that we are trying to bring about with digital courses and programs for young students, for college going students who want to get entrepreneurship mindset within them, who want to probably do something on their own, start up something on their own, but they don't know how to start. They don't know the ABC of fundraising. They don't know how to prepare a business plan for a startup, how to plan a particular growth story for your startup, how to put your vision into picture. So that all, so we've launched our first course, how to prepare a effective business plan to raise funds from an investor for your startup. So that's our first course. So it's getting a very strong response from students specifically, I would say, and young entrepreneurs. So our target audience is young entrepreneurs out there, probably like yourself, like myself, and that's the
Yeah.
target audience of how to actually grow the business and how to try to prepare a business plan and raise funds also.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, that is what we are at currently, and that is what we are doing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Really wonderful. And yeah, great, Devansh, for that you shared everything about your company and what you do there. That's great. That's really wonderful to hear about that. How would you, I think last year has been, affected somewhat of the life of everyone in some other the kind of, or, like in some way it has affected everyone, right? So how did it affect you and your
Yeah,
business? As you were saying that you started in 2018. So I think you had 18, 19. I think you were speaking about that, which was a very good boom for you. And 2020 was, markets were dull, I think for a good amount of months. I think around March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, I think the good amount of months were very dull in the stock market. I'm aware about it.
yeah.
So, how would you describe the last year for
So
yourself?
I think from the time the COVID set in, our business actually picked up, by God's grace, touch wood.
Oh.
And because I feel that as soon as COVID picked up, people started realizing that jobs are not a constant thing, and jobs are at line. So many of them wanted to start up something on their own. Many of them were looking for an excuse to start up something on their own, but they were not getting a time, or they were not getting that freedom to get something out in the market, build a product, raise funds from investors. But
Mhm.
here what happened is that investors also got free from their work, from their businesses. So they were focusing on where to invest my hard, matlab, where to park my money. I can't keep it idle in a savings bank or in a FD, which is not yielding me anything.
Yeah.
So where should I park? So they also became active. founders became active because they were not getting the time, they were not understanding how should I start, they were busy in their family things, in their jobs, etc., etc., and they also got a lot of time. So in fact, for us it was a boon because we are the mediators for both these parties, and many people approached us, we did deals, we mentored many startups, we prepared business plans for multiple startups, as I said, around 50 55 from last 16 18 months. So maybe in the last 12 months was a majority of them basically. So it was a good year all in all, last year, and that
Okay.
was pretty good for us.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think I think around I have done around 40 episodes on the entrepreneurship series, and I think you were the one who is really happy about last year. In the sense, happy in the sense you explaining your thing. It was good for us and it was really great. So
Yeah.
that thank you very much for sharing that also here. Devansh, my next question to you would be,
Yeah.
how would you describe your journey of working and learning about stuff and be then starting a startup and seeing I think as you say you were already late in the market and understanding stuff, there were multiple people already there. So how has been your journey and how would you describe it in past I think 3-4 years? Yeah.
So I think the journey has been very, very beautiful. It has been little bit slow at times, but it has been very, very positive one. I feel that with the stock markets and with the wealth management side of the business, with what we started off,
Uh-huh.
there were many, many players. Look, I was, which I realized later, apart from my relationships and apart from the network or something, I was not adding huge amount of value. Like it's a commodity kind of a business, right? I mean,
Mhm,
now there are apps available, you can freely register on it, and you can open a demat account and start trading
yeah.
or start investing.
Hmm.
You don't need someone to tell you what to do or what not to do, right? So that's where I was feeling that kind of a lack, that okay, this is my passion, but am I adding certain any kind of a value to someone?
Mhm.
Okay, what am I doing? Well, if I make money for them, that's good enough. But
Yeah.
when the markets are down, not even the best of the best managers or fund managers can make money. It's down, you can't really do anything, people are just selling. And that's what was happening to me. Like, I just realized that okay, it is not exactly what I would like to do, because at the end of the day I want to make money for my clients.
Yeah.
But if the markets are down, it's not in my control. There is a certain level, there's a majority of the level which is out of my control rather than being in my control. And then with the investment banking space where we did SME IPO, and there when I came into the picture, I think before that 3 years already there was a huge bull wave in the SME IPO market, and many companies
Okay.
had done their IPOs and raised tremendous amount of funds, small companies, good amount of funds they had raised. So I was late there, and I realized that, and that time that market was just becoming illiquid, the SME IPO market. So we decided that it's not any fruitful to just stay hanging in, and the startup part just came, it just started coming in. It was not predetermined, like it just started coming in. People were seeking advice that okay, if you're raising funds for SME companies, why don't you do for startups?
Hmm.
And I found a thing that okay, they are looking for advice. When I was interacting with the founders of startups, they were not very well versed with the business sense, with marketing,
Yeah.
with sales, with finance.
Hmm.
They just knew about the product, because most of the startup founders are from technology background.
Yeah.
So they knew very well about the product, but not about the other aspects of business. And that's what probably I had learned over this last 3.5 years, that okay, what to do with a business, how to study a business, how to research about a business, what are the factors in finance that you must see, how to value a business. So those all learnings then came into the picture with this startup. That's how it just started flowing in. It was not pre-planned that I want to get out here, but
Hmm.
once it started coming, then we planned it effectively, that yes, we want to be out here and we want to be a strong player out here.
Okay. Okay. So this I think no everywhere in the world, nobody, no school or no one teaches you financial, there's no financial education or there's no financial
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
literacy, or you don't know much about it till you don't take subjects related to it. Yeah. So
yeah.
my question to you is, how can a person um, understand more about financial
So
stuff?
Malab, very, very simple. No rocket science. I'll just tell you my example. I was not very well versed with the finance, though I was a CA and I was working on stock markets and research and all this shit. But it was not. Uh, I didn't have that basic financial education.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, just 1 second. I think the phone is ringing. I need to leave. Very. What I did was. Uh, I just, I always wanted to, I was never a book reader and I used to read books. But I just called for this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mhm.
And that really changed the way I look at money. So, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 Devansh, I can. Please go ahead.
Okay, your video. Just called for this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and that changed my perspective of looking at money, at looking at finance, and how to handle it, what is supposed to be done. Where was I going wrong massively with my money? Though I was a CA, etc., but I was going wrong with my money. My money sense was not very strong. Okay, though I was a saver and everything, but I was not putting it into effect, right? It was not working, like, and what he explained in the book like really changed my mind. So anyone, like your audience, whoever is watching this video, like, if you are even if you're not a book reader, I am not a book reader, though I read books now related to my business and related to entrepreneurship and all, because I really enjoy them. But if you are not a book reader, if you don't have the knowledge about money or finance, just download this book. It's available, I think, even free on Google PDF. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You can call it from Amazon or whatever. Listen on Audible, however you're comfortable with. Just read this book. Like, it will change your money mindset completely. Whoever is listening to this or watching this video, just read this book, and then you'll automatically start getting that groove of how you're supposed to handle money, how you're supposed to treat money, and how you're supposed to grow it.
Mhm. Okay, great. So, I think just one, two questions more they want to you, and
Sure, sure.
yes, the question from my side to you is, what would be your advices to anybody who wishes to get into this financial space, learn more about IPOs, stocks, how to invest, and more other stuff? What would be your advice to them?
Okay. So, my advice to anyone who wants to get into finance and into investing, into wealth management, stock markets, would be that, in fact, into any field, yeah, for that matter, not into this, but just try to follow your passion. I mean, follow your gut feeling, what it tells you. So, I'll again tell you my story. When I cleared my CA, I was working at a hello. Anything. So when I was, after completing my CA, I was working for 6 months at a CA firm. So I just thought that, okay, I'm just working here, but I'm looking for a job into equity research and corporate finance. So eventually I got one, though it was at a low package being a CA also, but I still accepted it because I wanted to learn from someone who is very experienced. So that opportunity I got for the next 2 years to learn, because of which then I could start my own business and etc. What the story I told you earlier. So at the end of the day, you need to follow your passion. Like, if you're interested into finance, investing or something, look up to someone. If you're looking up to someone, you have a mentor. Go and learn under him. It might be for a very low package, for less money and more efforts and time, but just go and learn.
Mhm.
That's the whole crux. Like, you need to learn. Like, if you are passionate about something, find a mentor. Even if you don't have one mentor, it's okay. If you keep searching for something that you are looking at properly, you'll eventually find it. So that is what it is. So try to do that, basically. Follow your passion and go after it. That is what you need to do.
True, true. Yeah, really true. So I think, yeah, these are the questions I had, and thank you very much, Devansh. It was wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing your story. It was a beautiful session with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Lakshit. Thanks a lot to invite me to your channel. I think it was a wonderful experience talking to you, and hopefully your viewers, your listeners really enjoy this, and they can pick a leaf or two out of this.
Yeah, they will. They will surely, surely do that. Thank you very much, Devansh.